This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, locals say Central Otago's Lower Mannaburn Dam area has become a dumping ground for unwanted rubbish. A Christchurch fertiliser factory is back in business just 2 days after a significant fire. And Mental Health Awareness Week wraps up this weekend with the final brushstrokes going on a Dunedin mural. Good evening, I'm Holly Buchanan. Central Otago's Lower Mannaburn Dam area has become a dumping ground for unwanted rubbish, spoiling a beautiful part of the district, according to locals. They say the popular swimming spot needs to be cleared of cans, bottles and burnt-out cars before the summer season.
A burned-out car is just one of the items littering the picturesque Lower Mannaburn Dam, which is popular for swimming and picnics on summer weekends. For the volunteers who look after this council reserve, the way other people are treating the area is discouraging.
We've had a lot of vandalism and, as you can see, old wrecked cars and stuff like that. It's quite frustrating for us as a voluntary group of people that look after the dam.
This wreck is just one of many cars which have been deliberately abandoned on the reserve.
The vehicle behind us here apparently originally came from Invercargill, and it was left on the streets of Alex for I think about 3 months, and the police knew it was there. It eventually ended up out here and we found it burnt out.
An attempt to provide a rubbish skip for people to thoughtfully dispose of their litter has been thwarted by vandals.
It was donated to us basically, we didn't have to pay for the skip. But some idiots came along at one stage of the game and they pushed it, or manhandled it, we think, all the way and dumped it in the dam. So everything floated out of it that would float. And we constantly get rubbish, thrown around and dropped around the place.
Police say they don't deal with the dumping of rubbish and cars because it's a local council issue. The volunteer caretakers are hoping to have the popular spot cleaned up before summer. In Alexandra, for The South Today.
The cold front has hit Alexandra, bringing snow flurries to the town centre from midday today. The snow showers, interspersed with sunshine, were heavy at times, almost obscuring the Alexandra hillside clock. The town had been expecting to reach a high of 8 degrees, however locals reported the temperature around 1 p.m. was just 3 degrees Celsius, which Met Service said would feel more like -1. A Christchurch factory was back in business yesterday, just 2 days after a spectacular fire. The blaze damaged the roofs of 4 storage buildings at the Ravensdown Fertiliser Factory on Main South Road, Hornby, on Tuesday morning. Explosions could be heard and huge plumes of thick black smoke were seen across Christchurch on Tuesday. Around 40 firefighters fought the blaze and stopped it just metres from a sulphur store. The fire, which damaged 4 out of Ravensdown's 13 stores on its site, appears to have started during maintenance work. The exact cost of the damage was not yet known, but it is expected to be a multi-million-dollar fit-out. Police have released the name of a 12-year-old boy who died in Haast Township on Wednesday night. He was Jesse Samuels of Alexandra. Constable Paul Gurney says it's an absolute tragedy for the family. He says emergency services were called to a private address about 5:30 p.m. after the boy was found unresponsive. St John volunteers spent almost an hour trying to revive the boy, but he died at 6:30 p.m. A police media spokeswoman says the death was due to a medical event and will be referred to the coroner. And Mental Health Awareness Week is wrapping up around the country this weekend. In Dunedin's Wall Street Mall, a week-long mental health mural celebrating the week is receiving its finishing touches.
Crowds gather to witness the completion of the mental health mural at Wall Street Mall. It's an event artist Brent Harper says is unlike anything he's done before.
I've done many projects like this over the years, but this one's been very special to me because of just how much it really has engaged all ages at the same time. And you've got like little 4-year-olds working alongside their mothers, or a mum painting just as much, or you've got 17-year-olds next to them, and you've got young adults, you've got adults, you've got people of all different backgrounds. It's amazing.
The project saw art enthusiasts of all ages leaving their own messages of what mental health means to them. For Harper, this was one of the most powerful parts of the experience.
For example, a young teenage boy came in yesterday and he had created a picture of a man sitting on the ground looking very depressed, and I worked with him and tried to encourage him to take it one step further and talk about positive mental well-being. So he painted a picture of a man behind him with his hand on his shoulder, and he's saying something like, "You're going to be okay."
And for some, the mural provided the opportunity to pay tribute to lost loved ones.
We had a young 16-year-old come in working on one of the panels, and she's created a beautiful tribute for her stepdad, and he sadly is, it was like a tribute to him, and she's been through so much, this young woman, and she came in and gave a day of her time and basically painted this amazing, beautiful tribute for him.
Harper estimates he encountered around 2,500 people during the week-long project. The 4-panel mural is set to be on display in Wall Street Mall for the near future, communicating the message of mental well-being. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And still to come on the South Today, a Dunedin knitting store offers a creative way to spend the school holidays. And prison inmates join forces with the Department of Conservation to help with pest eradication.
It's the Alex Campbell Menswear massive menswear liquidation. But don't panic, it's not ours. We've bought 2 Auckland stores and we've got up to 70% off.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
That's the Alex Campbell Menswear massive menswear liquidation.
Electrify NZ Dunedin sell quality European designed e-bikes with reliable componentry so that you too can wear the e-bike grin. Call in for your complimentary test ride today or book online. Find us at 249 Cumberland Street, phone 021 035 9820.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Spring is here and it's time to get in the garden. Ready Lawn will take care of your lawn needs, making lawn care a snap. They will install the perfect lawn while you plant your favourite flowers and vegetables. Call Ready Lawn today so you can enjoy the coming season.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
The Green Island Medical Centre offers everything for your family's needs. Whether you are travelling or coming in to discuss health symptoms, our medical staff provide the best of care. We offer Manage My Health, making booking an appointment or requesting a repeat prescription a breeze. We welcome families like yours. Give us a call today, phone 03 488 2754.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Welcome back. A 22-year-old Wanaka man is due to appear in the Queenstown District Court this month. The man faces charges relating to 2 building site burglaries and 2 commercial storage yard burglaries in the Queenstown and Wanaka areas in the last 3 months. Sergeant Miriam Reddington says further charges are likely. The man was arrested after police executed a search warrant at a Wanaka building site yesterday. They say a substantial amount of timber, tools, scaffolding and other building materials were recovered. A Dunedin knitting supply store, KnitWorld, held a school holiday program helping teach children to knit a pet blanket. Today, the enthusiastic young knitters were invited to try out their blankets for the first time.
14-year-old pussycat Amber getting a first look at the new blanket her owner Emma Cheney has knitted for her. The blanket was made as part of the school holiday knitting program run by Dunedin's KnitWorld.
We ran a promotion for the school kids to learn how to knit, and they got a pet blanket, a little kit. So they got to choose the wool and they got some knitting needles.
The knitters say their creations were with pets in mind.
A cat blanket for Amber. A blanket for my cat socks.
KnitWorld say their holiday program provides an alternative to electronic-based children's entertainment.
I think it's really important because with technology overrunning children's lives these days, I think it's really good to get them back to learning how to do things like knitting and crochet and just, having fun without screens.
The store say they love running holiday programs and getting more young people into knitting. In Dunedin, for the South Today.
A joint project between the Department of Corrections and the Department of Conservation hopes to help with pest eradication. Prison inmates are acquiring skills while producing animal traps, which will be deployed in the Mackenzie Basin.
These are part of more than 1,500 traps being made at the Otago Corrections Facility in Milton for use by the Department of Conservation.
These traps are for stoats, rats and anything else that's running around the bush, I suppose. But these traps have been asked for us to, they're going up to the Cass Valley. They're also going to the Mackenzie Basin, basically.
O'Kane says making animal traps is part of an ongoing project.
Yeah, we've been doing them for 3 years. Not only we've been doing them for dock, but different different areas of dock. So we do stuff for Dock Twizel, Geraldine Dock, Tianau Dock, and this big order's come from Twizel Dock.
Conservation Minister Eugenie Sage visited the prison recently and says the traps will help the war on pests.
And it's a huge commitment in terms of the Aoraki Predator Control Project, where they're going to be going, to actually help create safe spaces for threatened species like kaki and to bring predator numbers down in a large part of the Mackenzie Basin.
She says they're well put together, even down to the finer details, such as making the edges safe for the humans using them.
It's really impressive. The traps that have been built, really solid, really well made. They've even got beveled edges so that people in the field don't get splinters when they're carrying them around. They're really solid.
One of the newer inmates to the project, who we can't show for privacy reasons, says he hopes to use his newly acquired skills when he returns to life on the outside, and in the meantime he's happy to be helping native wildlife.
I just enjoy the fact that I'm giving back to the community and saving the birds.
Mark O'Kane says the project began a few years ago with prison inmates making a small number of traps, and it's grown from there. In Milton, the South Today.
And after the break on the South Today, Arrowtown's Lakes District Museum celebrates 70 years, opening its doors for a free public open day. And the Otago Field Days kicked off today at the Palmerston Sale Yards.
The Green Island Medical Centre offers everything for your family's needs. Whether you are travelling or coming in to discuss health symptoms, our medical staff provide the best of care. We offer Manage My Health, making booking an appointment or requesting a repeat prescription a breeze. We welcome families like yours. Give us a call today, phone 03 488 2754.
Active Interior Design in Mornington are the curtain and blind experts. The team can even advise you on outdoor products and will ensure that everything is perfect. For interior design with flair, call Active to book your free in-home consultation or call into the showroom in Mornington.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garrador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren, his Garrador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
For more than 50 years, Roslyn Mowers and Heating have been selling and servicing quality lawn mowers and outdoor power equipment. Bring your mower, chainsaw, garden equipment in for repair or service and you go in the draw to win a Husqvarna petrol line trimmer. See you in store soon.
Motor Trade Finance proudly brings you Rural Delivery. A look at the places and faces behind New Zealand agriculture. Tuesday evenings 8:30, repeating Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday afternoons 4:30.
Welcome back. Queenstown woman and former lawyer Olivia Wensley says male lawyers are acting like badly behaved children. Her comments come following the resignation of an unnamed partner from Wellington law firm Russell McVeigh. An independent investigation upheld complaints about a man's drunken behaviour at a client function. Olivia Wensley left the legal profession due to this type of behaviour and says men will keep doing it if there's no disciplinary action. The Lakes District Museum is marking 70 years of informing and celebrating the Queenstown Lakes area with a free open day for the public. Based in Arrowtown, the institution has been visited by both the Queen and Queen Mother and undergone major expansions in recent decades.
Now equipped with modern displays, the Lakes District Museum wasn't always this flash, having started out as just a couple of rooms at the Ballarat Hotel in 1948.
So it was a tiny little room, and I think people from around the district were encouraged to donate objects, and that started the museum. I think they got flooded with objects. We've still got shelves full of those objects that came in 1948, and we've been collecting ever since.
In 1955, the museum moved into a building recently vacated by the local bank.
The Bank of New Zealand building at this end of the street was offered to the museum, and that's when, first of all, they rejected it because I think they wanted £100 or something like that for it, and the museum board said, no, we can't afford that. And in the end, the Bank of New Zealand said you can have it. And so it had big gardens beside it, and gradually over the years we've expanded into those gardens to the point we are today, which is quite a significant and sizeable operation.
The last 40 years have seen the museum grow into the respectable institution it is now.
We've set up art gallery, numerous displays, full-time education program, archives facility, all sorts of things that museums should do to try and retain the district's history.
Future plans for the museum include earthquake strengthening the Category 2 heritage building. In Arrowtown, for the South Today.
The Otago Field Days began today in wintry conditions with farmers converging on Palmerston just north of Dunedin. The two-day event began as the East Otago Field Days, but has grown and now has stallholders coming from as far afield as Auckland.
The track was soft and muddy at the Otago Field Days, which began in Palmerston today, with snow falling at times. Red Band gumboots were the order of the day, and CEO of Field Days, Paul Much, says the event brings country folk together.
Well, Field Days are important to our community. There's a social part of it, all the farmers getting together, contractors, gardeners, and so you get country people and town people together, a chance to converse, chance to meet, and also to see what's new. So we've got a lot that's new out from our exhibitors.
Outside, heavy coats and boots were necessary, but not inside at the fashion show, where lining fabric for warmth was discussed.
Fabric, actually a cotton, and what I do to be able to use these fabrics as winter fabrics is I back them and I insulate them. So
the Otago Field Days began today and are due to wrap up tomorrow in Palmerston. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Central Otago's Lower Manaburn Dam area has become a dumping ground for unwanted rubbish, spoiling a beautiful part of the district, according to locals. A Christchurch factory is back in business just 2 days after a spectacular fire, which is prompting a multi-million-dollar refit. And Mental Health Awareness Week wraps up around the country this weekend with the final brushstrokes going on a Dunedin mural. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Paul.
Hi, Holly. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
We've had a bit of a week of cycleways and cyclists and issues like that. There's a lot on cycling in tomorrow's paper.
Okay.
We had the video the other day with the truck driver being encouraged to run over the cyclist.
Yes.
There was a 16-year-old passenger who's apologised for that. We also have in tomorrow's paper David Lochray's column. He's always very funny, and he's talking about cyclists and why they make people angry. We've got an editorial saying it's time to stop the anger against cyclists. We've got letters about it. So, yeah, it's a big issue in Dunedin at the moment, the whole cycling thing. We've also got some good stuff in the mix tomorrow. A story on Maurice Shadbolt, the author, and what he was really like by his biographer, Philip Temple of Dunedin. And one of our climate scientists here, Jim Salinger, was the first person to talk about global warming in an article in the ODT in 1975.
Oh, wow.
So we've revisited that, and it's really interesting reading. Plus there's a recipe for lemon cream cheese mousse cake, which sounds very nice. And of course we've got quite a bit on the Ranfurly Shield Challenge tomorrow night in Hamilton.
Okay.
So there's heaps of stuff
on Saturday's paper.
Yeah.
Great, thank you very much. And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Tonight's southern view is of snow falling in Alexandra from the Otago Daily Times office there. And looking at the situation, southwesterly airflow will ease this weekend, but it won't die out till later next week, so expect some more cold and breezy days with coastal showers for a while longer. Starting at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect clear skies and a high of 13 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson also cloudy and 16 degrees, while Blenheim is in for a very similar day with rain and 14. And to Canterbury, those of you in Kaikoura can get out the brolly for wet weather and 11 degrees. Christchurch and Ashburton will be cloudy with 13. Looking at the southern towns, Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all in for fresh sou'westers with showers later and highs of 9 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes area, winter is back with a vengeance. Fresh southerlies for all of you with Wanaka at 8, Alexandra at 9 and Queenstown has a high of just 7 degrees. Te Anau can expect fresh southerlies, showers later and 8 degrees. Looking at the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can expect light southerlies and mostly cloudy with a high of 10. More wintry further inland with Omarama and Twizel in for strong southerlies, some cloud and a high of 8 degrees. And in Dunedin, cloudy tonight with westerly winds and an overnight low of 4. Sunny periods and some cloud tomorrow with cold westerlies and a period of showers from the early evening with blustery sou'westers, a high of just 9 degrees. Mostly cloudy and cold on Sunday with fresh gusty sou'westers easing and a high of 9 degrees. And in Invercargill, Cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 4. Cloud increasing and a period of showers developing from midday tomorrow with fresh to strong cold sou'westers, a high of just 8 degrees. Cloud clearing and sunny periods increasing on Sunday with sou'westers easing, 9 the high and a chilly 2 degrees the low. And that wraps up our news this Friday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online and follow us on Facebook, YouTube and at channel 39.co.nz as well as odt.co.nz. Thanks for joining us and have a safe and happy weekend. Good night.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.